Hello and welcome to another episode of Nolo Time. My name is Obed Velez and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Julian.
What's good, no low time? Oh, bit. I thought for a second there before we started the show, based on our last conversation, I thought you were going to refer to me as Neo, but
Oh,
it's okay. It's
oh
okay. I
yeah,
like the most interesting me.
yeah, yeah. You know what? Yeah, your ability to dodge bullets is pretty interesting. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, you know. Can't complain. It's been a nice week. It's a good day. Really been excited, getting a lot of prep together. You know, just before we went on the show, Ben and I were we were talking, about plans for Comic Con, and gosh, we've got a lot of really great stuff in store. You guys have to be following us. You have to be following us on social media and especially on YouTube. You have got to be subscribed to that YouTube channel because we're gonna have so much being dropped, so much being planned. You guys aren't ready for this. It's gonna be
Oh,
awesome. It's gonna be our best ever. And so yeah, I mean, we got plans in place. We got things going on. I mean, there's gonna be opportunities for people to get stuff. I mean, I don't want to get into it too much, but it's gonna be special.
yeah.
But with all that being said, this last weekend, holiday weekend, had a nice little bit of some time off to be able to relax, recuperate. Still playing some more God of War, and also got to. I'm just keeping it brief because I know we got so much to talk about today. But also Miss Marvel, still watching that. This last episode was not as good as the episode before, and I know that could be a little hard to say because the content that's being dealt with in this last episode historically, emotionally, is very heavy, and I do love how they handle that in particular. So I don't want people to think that I'm saying that what they portrayed in the show was bad from that standpoint. That's not what my problem was. My problem was there's a lot of holes in specifically Miss Marvel's story that's going on in this last episode, and it just did not do it for me, man. I felt like the last episode was so good, and then this one was just meh. And I don't fully understand everything, but you know what? They've got another episode coming in next week, so I'm confident it's going to end on a high note. I think this episode probably could have used another 10, maybe 15 more minutes to patch those gaps in a little bit better.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Yeah. Next episode is the next one, the last one, right? It's only
I believe
six.
so. Yeah.
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 Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting how
I miss
weird.
Kenobi.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's
Those last two episodes,
last
man.
episodes were solid. Yeah, yeah, we talked about it last week. If you want to hear what we think about Kenobi, you can go back. In a nutshell, we did enjoy it quite a bit. Not perfect,
Yeah.
not great, but good. But I mean, those last two episodes are excellent. But
Did you hear about the fan edit? Did you hear about
I
this?
just about an hour ago, I read about it.
Yes, guys, a fan put a thing together that's a 2.5 hour version of all the episodes, and basically said, "Hey, I cut out all the stuff I thought that was goofy and unnecessary." And I'd be curious to watch that cut.
Me
I would
too,
watch
man.
it. I want to see
Yeah,
if I
I
can
wonder.
find
I
it out
wonder
there.
where is it? Because
Yeah,
I
the
tried
internet's a
to.
place.
Yeah, yeah. I tried to look it up, see where it was, and I couldn't see exactly where it was being hosted. But um, if I find it, I'll watch it because
Yeah,
it's
same.
yeah. I really I just want to see if what we talked about last week, in the previous week, is true. So yeah. Nothing much on my end. Yeah, Elden Ring again. It's still very good, doing pretty good progress. I got a few places to go before I head out into like the last area of the game, so I'm doing pretty good. Um, you haven't watched any Stranger Things, right,
Nah, man. I know. A
Joel?
lot of stuff spoiled out there, but I'll get it. I'll get to it.
Joel, this yeah, unfortunately, right? Um, this is probably, and this is me like putting it with all the I'm not gonna put it with any like TV like traditional TV shows like Lost and all this is because it's different. You can't, right?
Yeah, it's not the same.
But if I'm going to put it against all the streaming content that I've seen, this season is probably the best season of anything that I've watched online.
And
It's that
are
good.
you taking part one and part two and counting it as one whole
Yeah, yeah,
season, or
yeah,
are you
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the second half?
No,
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
the entire season together. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I'm very impressed with how clearly the Duffer Brothers really take criticism in a very positive way, and try their best to fix the problems that season two and season three had, because season two had some big things that are relevant in this season, and unfortunately, because that season was hit and miss, you don't really remember it that well. Season three, there, you still remember a lot because a lot of it is referred back to that, right? But this was very good, and we'll talk about more later. But Joe, I gotta stress it, dude. It's it's super super solid.
Interesting.
Like, it's season two of Daredevil was probably my favorite thing that I watched online, and this was better.
Oh wow. Well,
Yeah,
both came from Netflix. Interesting.
yeah, 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 yeah. Season two of Daredevil was excellent. Like, with Punisher and all the other stuff that they brought in, it was freaking awesome. But yeah, dude, this show is so good. It's incredible. It was incredible. It was incredible. I was like, I've no negatives. Like honestly, dude, like, it's probably the first time that I've watched an entire season of something, and I really don't find any negatives. Like,
Interesting.
there's a couple of plot holes, but not enough to knock it down from like a 9.8. Like, that
Okay.
would be like that's probably my score is like a 9.8, because there's maybe one or two things that, but bro, other than that, it is so freaking good. You gotta watch it. So, can't stress it out. If you haven't watched it, watch the entire show because it's great. But this season four was just absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, they already said that, they're basically taking a break because they were working on this thing up until like 2 weeks ago. so so they're taking a break, and they're going to begin writing the the last season. So, looking forward to it. And what it's funny because I saw some comparisons to Empire Strikes Back, and that's basically what it feels like. It's,
Okay.
you know, our heroes are at a low point. One of them may or may not be dead. You've seen the spoilers, probably. So, it's yeah, it's good, bro. It's so good. It's like, oh, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. But yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Then we could get into the real spoilery
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. When you watch it, we can have a discussion on it. I guess extended. I did see some, not necessarily rumors, right? But we were talking about theme parks before we jumped in
Yeah.
onto the show. There's rumors that, like, Universal Studios here, where they have some irrelevant attractions, I would say, may be looking into doing it like a Stranger Things, like a permanent attraction.
I could see that.
So
Because usually their horror nights, they have a huge, usually some type of Stranger Things thing.
they don't need the San Francisco area. And that show building
Yeah.
from Fast and the Furious is really big.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they've already considered how much money and they could
Yeah.
do there. So, I mean, it wouldn't put it past me to see something like that because you invest in it. It's like probably 20 years at the minimum. You can have something like that there safe and solid.
Yeah. very good stuff. I am very very impressed. We'll talk about the Duffer Brothers later.
Yeah,
But yeah, um, first time in a while that we're not gonna have a, I guess, a spoiler talk or
I know.
or extended talk about a show. But
Yeah.
Joel, what's going on with Love and Thunder?
Oh my goodness. Well, the movie's out, right? The movie's out right now. Usually, I would say Obed knows, and you guys who watch the show and listen to it, usually we would move the podcast to like the day, like tomorrow, like Friday, so that way I could go and see the movie today. I told Obed originally, I said, I don't think there's a movie I need to rush out and see. Well, that might actually be true because reports on this movie is that it's not terrible, but it's not great either. It's on the lowest ranked right now currently on Rotten Tomatoes for an MCU film, and it's at 69% on the tomato meter right now. Audience score sitting at 87%, which I anticipated. I mean, the I'm not gonna say that's not authentic. I want to be clear,
Hmm.
right? That I do think that people, if they say they like it. But Obed, you know what I'm talking about. There is a little bit of a Marvel blind cult following people
Mm-hmm.
who's like anything that comes out Marvel is like, oh, I love it. And like you and I have said before, if there's stuff that we didn't like Eternals,
Oh,
you can't change my mind on that
totally
movie.
forgot that thing existed.
It is terrible. I mean, it's just not a good movie at all, right? There are some of the Disney Plus stuff that they've done. Like there was a whole recent debate I saw online about, the ending of Moon Knight, and I've been saying this for a long time. It's not that this is horrible. I'm not gonna put that with Eternals. I want to be clear. I enjoyed Moon Knight, but I'm just saying, like, if there's a problem, you can call it out. It's okay. When it comes to Marvel, that stuff we've seen it done before, right? Where these people spam the reviews and they'll just be like, it's great, and
Yeah.
then they'll go spam. I'm wearing a DC hat, of course, right now as I say this, but they'll go spam a DC
How much
movie.
CC pay, Joel, to be trashing
Yeah.
Marvel in this show?
I love Marvel. Got Spy by me, but literally, we've seen this before. This is not me just making accusations. We've seen this before, where literally some of these Marvel people will go and spam reviews on a DC film and say this is the worst movie ever, unfairly. So Rotten Tomatoes, I take that with always the grain of salt, but the critic reviews is what I look at more closely. At 69%, that to me sounds about what I anticipated. I didn't feel like it was going to be a bad movie, but I've been consistent since the first trailer saying, it looks fun, but I don't want to just have fun. Like I've seen that Thor movie before. Now the director, Obed, you might have seen this,
Yeah.
put out statements that I made a movie that I don't think Thor fans would want, or something along those lines. And I was like, ooh,
Interesting.
that's probably not the direction you should be taking this
Mm,
character who, the film wise has not had the greatest love out of all the MCU, right? People loved Ragnarok because it was just a fun movie, and it really used the characters well, used Hulk well, used Loki well, used Doctor Strange well. It was a good balance. But with this movie trying to make a rom com with Thor, I agree. I don't think as a fan, that's not something I would have asked for, or it's the thing that I would have been looking to see, no matter how much fun it is. But I'm judging this all early. I have not seen the movie. I want to be clear. I am seeing the movie on Saturday. So it's another opportunity for me to plug for you guys to follow us on social media, because Obed, I will be checking it out on Saturday, and right after, I anticipate to put a little video out with a non-spoiler out of theater instant reaction. So yeah, man, I don't know what you think about this, but
yeah.
it's interesting.
Um, it's. I'll watch it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna go to the movie theater for it, but I'll definitely watch it. Um,
Yeah.
I still haven't rewatched Strange, so I don't know if my wife watched it because that she's been on her iPad for the last 3 nights. Although there was like a
Nice, nice.
huge dump on like Prime, and
Yeah.
so there's a lot of really good stuff there.
Yes.
And she's been like glued to her iPad for the
Have you
last.
seen Snake Eyes yet?
No, I haven't. It's
I
on
think I,
Prime.
s- I think I saw that on Prime the other day, and I
Oh,
was like,
really?
Obed, you gotta check this
Oh,
out.
let's see.
You gotta check this out because You know what's up with GI Joe,
Let's
and
see. Let's
I
see.
also talk smack about that movie.
Uh,
Fact checking live on
Snake
the show.
Eyes. Let's see if it's available. Watch now. Yeah.
Yep, yeah, there you go.
So all
So
right.
add it
Well,
to your list, sir.
I'll check it out. Not to be confused with Snake Eyes with Nicolas Cage,
No,
which I've
wrong.
watched and okay.
Yeah.
So
Save for another show.
yeah, it's a family friendly podcast. We're gonna move on to maybe not so family friendly news though. Um, Joel, Movie Web put an article out there, and they put a timeline together
Yeah.
with basically a timeline. This is what you need to keep track of this movie. On the Flash, and they've basically covered, the who's and the whys and the dates. Tell us
Yeah.
what's up there, man.
I mean, I just thought it was hilarious because, and of course, I have to say all this while I'm wearing my DC hat,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Justice League,
But
nonetheless.
Justice League, nonetheless, and this is the merch that came up before Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah,
So this is the Justice
Justice
League,
League.
as we fans have dubbed it.
Yeah,
The Flash, you look at the timeline for this movie, right? And this is in line specifically with when we started our podcast. Like, we started our podcast and this thing was in development from the beginning, like episode 0 or whatever.
yeah.
Which don't
There
go
was
back and
like
listen to.
Justice League was gonna come out like
Justice
that
League was
just
gonna come
a
out.
couple of months after we started. Yeah, yeah.
And Ezra was cast back in 2014, guys. 2014. Right now, long story short is this movie is now on track to come out in June of 2023. That's 9 years later for a solo movie about the Flash, who is an A-lister, who has had some of the best comic book runs in DC history and maybe all comic book history. And the Flashpoint being one of the most awesomest storylines, which was not what the movie was originally going to be. That was changed. Okay, so you start running through the timeline here. It was originally just a Flash movie, and it became Flashpoint. I want to say, let's see here. It's on the timeline. Is it 2016? I think. No, that's sorry.
I think it was after Justice League came out. They flipped it. I remember I was talking about them flipping the script, and then the director quit, and then the other director quit. And then
Well, I mean, we can count on our hands how many different of these directors that have quit. I mean, you've got one, you got two, three.
we're up
You
to the
got
fourth one right now.
4, 5,
Jeez.
6. I mean, I'm
Man.
just counting, Okay, these are people who were rumored to get and they didn't actually get. 2018, John Francis Daly. Did they stick with it, or who made this one? It's gotten to that point, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Machete, okay, yeah, from It, right? He ended up becoming. Okay, this is, I mean, there are some directors they won't count because they signed up and never actually did anything, but I mean, you're talking about over 4 directors that absolutely had their hands at one point in this project. Directors that have worked on things like The Mandalorian, directors that have worked on like the Lego movie. Like, these are like good directors. If they all left, dude, there's obviously was more than a problem than just the script. There had to have been some stuff people knew. I will not leave this for a while. If it's been since 2018 or what it was when it was supposed to come out first, and now we're talking about, we're talking about 5 years later. Now this movie's supposed to be coming out, supposed to be Obed. I personally have the belief that it may be delayed again. There's a very strong possibility.
It could,
because let's play a hypothetical here, Obed. Let's say they say it's coming out in June, and there is a trial that's going on, like in the spring of next year with Ezra Miller, like a public trial, dude, like Amber Heard style, dude.
Yeah.
You gonna put that movie out during that time?
It's tough,
No,
man.
that is dumb.
Yeah. Well,
You can't do that. There's a reason why they had to move Aquaman because the same thing. Like I'm talking about where when the Stars was in a trial. You can't put the movie out there. You got to wait. So even if you're saying like you can still put the movie out because you can't disrespect all the other hard work everyone else did in the project.
absolutely,
They shouldn't all
absolutely.
have to suffer for one person's
Yeah.
horribleness. But at the same extent, there's a lot of people who are gonna say like this though that the trailer is gonna come on for it, and then it's gonna be in the news. People are gonna be making fun of this thing, and there's gonna be people going like, "I ain't taking my family to go see that trash Flash movie,
That
trash Flash
crazy
Ryman."
person.
You know,
Yeah.
they're not gonna
Yeah.
say it. You know, and then the only thing I think Obed that's a saving grace is specifically they're now look to be spinning it in movie web. This article they talk about it they could try and spin it where it is more of a Michael Keaton Batman thing than it is a Flash thing, which I've said it's not really a Flash movie. It's when you put Batman in it. And
Yeah.
it is, I think, was it the 30th anniversary from Keaton's role as
Oh,
Batman
it's more than
originally?
that. It's
34th, I think it says. Yeah, exactly
yeah.
34 years.
Yeah.
34 years. So sorry, 34 years. You can spin it and make it more like advertise Batman, Michael Keaton Batman at
But then you'd have to
Flash.
you would have to give Keaton top billing trailers. You gotta flip
Do it.
you gotta probably rename the movie.
Yeah.
You gotta probably redo the marketing strategy and
I would rather do that than the movie not come out.
Totally. I mean,
And Keaton deserves it.
yeah, absolutely. No
He
question.
doesn't deserve what's happening right now. There's
No
movies getting delayed from that long ago till now. This is insane.
It's nuts. Yeah. It's unfortunate. That I guess a huge moment that we as fans like truly appreciated from the Snyder Cut kind of like got kind of messed up with this whole thing happening, right? We don't really want to go into details, and of course, this is all allegations, but nonetheless, it's troubling and it's unfortunate. So, yeah,
100%.
yeah,
We'll keep updated as it goes on. It was a funny timeline. Obed, if I get a chance when they finally whatever plans are finally announced, I'm gonna put that sizzle together of every time I've said this movie's not coming out or I believe it when I see it. Been saying on the podcast for years.
yeah. I don't know, man. So, man, we'll see. So, man, and now that I'm looking back, I've out of notes. I should have used this as our segue. But yeah, so the Duffer Brothers, they're creating their own, I guess, production house, right?
Yes,
and
the Upside Down Studios or something like that.
Upside Down Pictures. And they're gonna be working with Netflix on a bunch of different projects. They want to do an adaptation of the Talisman. That I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah, like Stephen King is apparently like a huge fan of Stranger Things, and he's been in contact, I guess. So that's great. And they also want to work on another adaptation of Death Note for Netflix. Okay.
Trying their hand at it again.
I gotta call a timeout on this one. Okay. As faulty as the adaptation that Netflix did 2017 was, right? There were things that I could, watching it, I could still enjoy, especially Willem Dafoe as Ryuk, and I think the cast was fine. Problem, and I'm going back into like, fans are already like, people are there like, they better not whitewash it. Well, you can adapt the story. Like I think this is a pretty universal story that you can adapt to any country. Like you can have a German version of Death Note. Honestly.
Interesting.
So
I see what you mean.
So I really don't think that's truly the problem here. The problem was the writing on that adaptation. The writing was really hit and miss, was shoddy, and some things didn't make sense. There's one character that I can they truly didn't understand the character, I think, and it's the character is completely different from the manga / anime. So there's that. That said, there's been Japanese adaptations that are bad too, like so. If you take a step back and you plan this out, and I think the Duffer Brothers are excellent at what they're doing with like Stranger Things and creating these period pieces of media. Like I would set it in like early 2000s, like go back in time, right? Don't do it in modern day, kind of like what the new Death Note tried to do in 2017. Do it like in like 2005 or something, where it's supposed to take place, 2004, whatever. And you can like if you want to like honor the roots, right? You can't go full Japanese on this thing because culturally it's not gonna be resonant with an American audience. You have to bring this thing here. The way you bring it in is a Japanese American family, and Light Yagami is still Japanese. But he speaks English and he lives in, I don't know, New York or Seattle or something, right? Like Seattle would be the perfect city to do this. Yeah. And you go from there, right? The original anime is 36 episodes. So you already got your 4 seasons there if you split it properly. So I'm confident that now, after season 4 of Stranger Things, I'm very confident that they are the right people to take this on.
Which is probably why they're getting awarded all these properties.
They probably were asked, "What do you want, Death Note?" Okay.
Yeah, that's
because they still had the rights. Yeah. So
negotiated a bigger deal, season 5 plus. Now we have our studio and we're gonna make some more stuff.
Yeah, dude. Like I can't wait. Plus, they're doing a spinoff of Stranger Things. How that's gonna be, I don't know. There's supposed to be a time skip on season 5. I don't see how they could do that based on how it ended. Mm-hmm. I mean, if there's a time skip, it can't be more than a year because that they usually do like the year thing. And I was like, oh yeah, it's a year time skip, and then they go into their adventure or whatever. So,
right.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how they do that. Yeah. I'm looking forward to whatever they do. I'll watch Death Note again. I'm fine. But yeah, if they do it right, if they place it right, if they do it right, if the characters are right, they could definitely pull it off. So just don't do it in modern day. Go back in time. Do it. You can do it in the 90s, dude.
Which is awesome. What these people are very good at. Like
exactly.
These brothers are very good at doing it in another time.
Yeah. So, doing it in like 2005 when, you still there's internet video, but it's still not like widely that sort of like transitionary period between, the pre-YouTube internet where everyone was on the internet, but YouTube wasn't there yet.
Man, so that changed everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So do it kind of like that. That'd be great. And then you after that, you can probably go into the more advanced like social media and other stuff that came around that same time. I think that would be really cool to tackle, right? If they do it like, mid 2000s where social media and YouTube were starting, and there's like this like mystique of this new things that are happening,
right?
And mix it up with their thing. Fantastic. If they do it that. Now, if they play it well, I know this is going to be good. So I'm looking forward to it. Yep. Cool. Joe, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. And we're back. Sir. Oh no. Okay. There you go. Thought I messed up your audio there for a second.
I'm here.
Control panels. Joel Taika Waititi had a little bit of amnesia. Star Wars amnesia. Dude needs a break. That's basically what it is. What this comes down to. He needs a break. He needs a vacation. So when filming Love and Thunder, he talked to Natalie Portman and asked her to be in one of the in his Star Wars movie when he works on it, and Natalie Portman was just like, I was already in Star Wars.
This is bad, dude.
Right. So I guess
I'm sorry. I cringed. Like you can get your fan card removed for that one, dude.
Right. That's a big one.
Let me go. She's not a side character in Star Wars, folks.
No, right.
You know, let me go ahead and call up Sam Jackson.
Wow.
Hey, you want to be in a Star Wars movie I'm working on?
Already died.
Dude, like that's honestly, I was like, okay, who gave him the project? Couldn't have been Kathleen Kennedy, could it? Because you're giving it to a director who's talking to Natalie Portman casually.
He knows. He probably just forgot.
Come on. I don't know, dude.
I don't know, man.
Maybe he woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or
it was so long ago.
Had some death sticks in the system, but
it was a long time ago.
Man.
She was very young.
Dude, that's a huge one, dude.
I don't know. Well, yeah.
A lot of fans started freaking out, and I think of all the ones, I think a lot of Star Wars fans have panic with some things. But I think this one was rightfully like.
But
cringe.
I mean, he's already been.
Let's be real. If it wasn't Taika, I think people like defend because they like him. Like had this been any other director, we would have been like, crucify them.
Oh yeah.
Like take them away.
Yep.
How dare you do this?
You're part of the Roll Alliance of the traitor.
Like if like if Ryan Johnson said these same remarks,
oh yeah, bro,
we wouldn't be going, he's been busy working on Knives Out 3.
Yeah,
no,
right.
We'd be like, what the heck is wrong with you, dude?
No. Yeah.
Taika, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, no, he needs a break. That's what it is. I think it's just he's just tired.
I'm trying not to bust his chops, but I gotta call it as I see it, dude. That was messed up.
He was in Mando.
Maybe he was joking. Maybe I'm reading into this. It is Rolling Stones after their journalism is known for mixed things. Not trying to take shots here. I'm just saying. But maybe he was just like, I talked to Natalie, but I forgot she was in one of those movies. And it's like, I mean, he's known for making jokes in his movies. Maybe he's making a joke in real life. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
maybe
if he was real about it.
Yeah, I doubt it. I mean, he's
that
already
one out of the article. Don't put that out in the public.
He's already very. I mean, he. I know that he already did his homework for Mando. Like he was in, he's directed episodes of Mando, so
I'm sure Ryan Johnson did his homework too, man.
And I know Ryan Johnson is a big fan of Star Wars. I know for a fact that he is.
I'm sure.
I'm not saying that he's not, right? It's like I'm a big fan of. I could be a big fan of something, and I'm a big fan of Street Fighter, and you give me a Street Fighter movie, and I wouldn't know what to do with it. I honestly.
Yes, but you would remember a character from a last
game. Ming Na was in it, and Van Damme was in it, right? Raul Julia, he died after the movie because the movie was so bad.
Look at him, you're spitting facts over here.
Yeah. I mean, I can and probably quote the animated movie, the anime.
But you're saying all this after days of long hard work, and you still remember. I don't know.
Yeah, man. It's. But that's the thing, right? I can be a fan of something, and I can know the lore, but at the end of the day, it's like, what am I gonna do, right? That's the problem. The best thing and that's what. I think, in my opinion, Ryan Johnson got wrong, right? Because I'm not saying that he is not a Star Wars fan. I truly believe that he is.
Agree.
And I truly believe that he thought that he was making the right choices for Star Wars, right? The problem is that you cannot use a beloved franchise as your experiment in character deconstruction. You can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Star
can't.
Wars is not
You
the
can't.
place to to
No.
go into the sandbox and start developing
No.
something completely.
Exactly. That's the thing. I can't take. All right. Again, I'm gonna go back to Street Fighter because I'm very familiar with the Street Fighter lore, right? And I can't just go back to Street Fighter. I mean, they're like even now, like the Street Fighter guys, the new director producer team they have at Capcom working on Street Fighter 6, they're actually deconstructing the characters, but they're doing it in a way where fans go like, oh yeah, this is cool, right? And that's the way to do it, right? You can deconstruct a character like Ken, who's always been arrogant and out there and kind of like the happy guy, right? And you can deconstruct him and make him, it's like, oh, she took the kids and now I'm depressed and I don't know what to do with my fighting and whatnot. So you can do that and that's cool, right? And I think that's what he tried to do with Luke, but it just didn't work out. And the problem is that when you have an established character like Luke and you try to deconstruct him, when his character was already like established, like this dude took the most evil dude in the universe and made him and turned him back, dude. And you had a bad dream and now I want to kill my nephew. Nah, bro. It's like that's the problem. Things don't work like that. And I know that Taka's fine. He's fine. He could have been joking, like what you said. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
He'd been
yeah.
joking, and at the end of the day, I think I'm still giving the person a chance. I'm just saying, like, I can't. I don't care who it is, dude. Steven Spielberg, whoever. If you make that kind of a thing, I pump the brakes real fast because I think it's like Star Wars PTSD. It's like we want things to be cared for so well that even if it is a joking thing, of course it was gonna make headlines. I don't think most people laughed when they read it. I think most people read it were like cringe. But that's not a good look, especially when you're getting the reviews you're getting right now for Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
We don't need that for Star Wars right now. We've had enough of that kind of let's try and do something.
We gotta take Star Wars to the next level,
we don't
guys.
Need that.
We don't need that.
That's my point. That's my point.
Yeah, that's the thing with Star Wars.
Yeah.
We go back to it. We've been in the gutter of mediocrity for too long, and we gotta step up. So, yeah, man. All right, 2 big announcements, Joel. November, it's gonna be a big month. November 9th.
I thought you were gonna say something else for a second.
God of War Ragnarok. That's why I was saying Love and Thunder and not saying Thor. Although spoiler alert, Thor is in this game, right? You'll get to see that when you complete your journey, sir.
We're gonna have to have a conversation offline, dude. You nearly killed me with what you just said. Oh my gosh.
What? I don't even
okay.
know.
We'll talk. You didn't realize it. You didn't realize what you did. It's okay. It's okay.
All right.
The show will go on.
So show must go on. You gotta point that to me, sir. What the heck is wrong? All right. God of War Ragnarok coming out November 9th. After I guess weeks of fan outrage because of the silence. Well, there you go. Yeah, very much looking forward to it. I don't know if it's up on Best Buy.
I didn't see it on GameStop. I looked it up on GameStop. Didn't
Oh,
see
you
it
did?
there.
Okay.
So I assume if it's not on GameStop, it's probably nowhere.
Let's see. It is not. No. Yep. It's interesting that I searched for God of War on Best Buy and it takes me to Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights.
Someone in the back of the database is like, I'll sell this game.
Yeah, Gotham Knight, man. It's fat, man. We got to make it happen. So that was announced. No new. They showed what the collector's edition and whatnot is gonna have. But again, no pricing, at least as far as I know, is available for that. So yeah, I'll pre-order when it comes up for sure. If they come up with like I guess like a deluxe version or something, that's usually what I do. If it's a game that I'm looking forward to, I'll just get the deluxe. You gotta have to fill me in, dude. What did I do wrong?
Nothing wrong.
I want
Nothing
to do
wrong.
I want to
Nothing
do like
wrong.
an Arnold. It's like WTF,
I
did I
will
do
certainly
wrong?
I will certainly fill you in, my friend. I will certainly fill you in. It was just the timing and the punchline was perfect.
Oh, okay,
But
okay. I guess I'll hear it back when I
you'll
when I
definitely
proofread
when
the
you hear it
show.
back and you have
Yeah,
context, you'll be, oh, I see, I see. Most people online are probably like, what is Joel? It's okay. That's why I said we're not stopping the show for that one. But
you got
but
your. I see that you got your card, Joel, and you put it to good use.
oh man. Well, I tell you what though, God of War Ragnarok coming out November 9th. This is perfect. This is great. They kept saying that it was going to come out end of the year. That's a month before the end of the year. That's within that time frame you want to be in. October 31st was kind of the placeholder, and we all kind of knew that wasn't going to be the thing, right? And so when you have something like this, say, okay, we're going to put end of the year, we're going to let it come out, on the 9th. Now people can actually start, a conversation around the actual game and not a conversation around why is it delayed? Why is it delayed? Is there problems? Start coming up with
Yeah.
scenarios and theories that probably is misinformation. Understandably, there would be concern when you have a game of this caliber that's already been delayed significantly before, right? We expected this to be coming out much sooner anyways. I mean, this was one of the things that was teased with the launch of PlayStation 5. PlayStation
Yeah.
5 didn't come out just yesterday. It's been out for a while now. This is one of those things that it's necessary. You have to stick now to this. Can't move it again, and I don't think they will. There's no point for them to move it again. But I had for a long time, even on this podcast, as you've been listening for a while, no, I've been saying I don't know that this is coming out this year. I don't know, and it wasn't because I didn't want it to come out. We all wanted it to be coming out yesterday, but I just felt like when there was such a significant amount of time going by, month after month after month, and you get closer and closer and closer to where the flag was put down, and there's no public statements aside from just wait, it's coming, just wait, it's coming. I mean, that's what we saw happen with Halo, right? Like,
Yeah.
we've seen that happen with other games before. This is not Halo, but I'm just saying, like, we've seen this song before, and that's where I say, okay, maybe there's other things going on. We knew it was going to come anyways. You and I had talked to 2 episodes before, I think it was, where we were like, just chill out, it's coming, like,
Yeah.
you'll be here, it'll be fine.
We talked
And now
about
we
it
have
last week. Yeah.
Yeah, it was last, yeah. So it's
Yep.
here now. So we're good.
Yep. Yeah, we're good. We're good. The game's coming out. Also, Joel, I don't know if you saw that Forspoken got delayed.
I did. Yeah.
I guess a strategic delay. Square Enix is saying they're not saying it's a, I guess a technical thing. Or they need more time to polish. They're making like a strategic business thing. I mean, the way I see it, right? Square Enix is gonna have a big year next year.
Oh yeah.
So, maybe they're just banking on moving this game closer. I don't know, because what comes out in August, like up until like November, there's like not much coming out, right?
Yeah.
Right now.
Not much.
So
Unless you're getting that OLED.
yeah. But right now, yeah, probably like Splatoon is probably the only like the only thing that's coming out that's big. I mean, and not Splatoon's not for everyone, but still a fun game. Yeah, I mean, we can probably just use that as a segue. Yeah, there's a new Splatoon, I guess, inspired Switch coming out. Looks very nice. Switch OLED with the gradient purple and neon green Joy-Cons, a white dock with a splash of paint, and a design on the console itself. Looks very, very nice. Yeah, I mean, not much to say, but looks pretty neat if you ask me, man.
Yeah, it's a nice look. I mean, it's probably not. I like my solid colors and stuff. I probably
Yeah, yeah,
wouldn't necessarily pick it up, but the Pro controller, now
yeah.
that's my alley. Like I love to have fun controllers, like just various designs, get real creative and artsy with it. And
Yep.
I I mean Splatoon is one of those you can get away with it. You can do something like this and be safe. You know, I'm a fan of the design. I'm a fan of the look. It's not probably the one that I would pick up, like I'm saying, the specific model. Um, but the OLED in general, like this is not even just the design. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. I mean, if
Yeah, I'm good.
I have cash to burn, I'm one of those people sitting around. God bless those that do. I would just say, well, maybe I'll move into an OLED, an upgrade. But right now, and not to be this way, like that's not why I have a Switch. I don't have a Switch because I need these graphic
Like on
intensive
the go,
experiences.
yeah, and the on the go because I mean the screen, like hands down, it is significantly better.
It
Honest,
is.
like if when you look at it, yeah, it's
I
totally
finally
worth
saw
it.
one in person, and I was like, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks amazing. But yeah, no, the totally I totally get what you're saying. I think the controller, especially if you don't have a pro controller, because pro controller is still
You
very
gotta
good.
have it.
Like it's
You gotta
still,
have it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the dual sense, like just on another realm by itself, right? Um, but the pro controller, it's very very good. It's a very solid feeling and working controller. The battery life is incredible on it, so it's worth the investment on that end. Also, I don't know if you saw. I don't think I mentioned it last week. There's rumors that later this year, Sony's going to announce a pro version of, like an official pro version of the DualSense.
Oh,
So yeah,
oh,
like a
interesting.
premium, like $150 version of it, like you know, I don't know
Better
if.
grip for the real sweaties.
Oh my gosh, dude! Okay, yeah, Elden Ring, man. I was like the thing's slipping.
Real sweaty.
So that's the thing. And I mentioned it on the show before. I got
Yep.
those the Control Freak
Yep.
tape for the controller, and it makes it much much better, right? I have it, so I have it on my black controller, but when I try it on the white controller that doesn't have the tape, it just slips everywhere. And it's like it's a mess, dude. I don't know. I don't know why they made it so slippery. It's interesting, and it's funny because we're connected with an esports team, and I talked to the guys and they agreed. It's like, oh man, yeah, those like PS5 controllers, it's that slippiness is a problem. It's like, yeah, man. So, you know, check out those Control Freak things because they're very good and it's worth it. It's like $15 and makes it way better.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah, but yeah, no, the Pro Controller is very nice. So if you don't
Yeah,
have
that
one,
was the one that caught my
yeah,
eye more than the
it's
actual
super cool. Yeah, it
OLED.
looks
Yeah,
nice.
not like was the Pro controller. Obed, you want to talk about skulls and bones?
Joe, the flash of video games.
Wow.
So if games were to be,
Wow.
if the quality of a game would be judged by the amount of time the game's been in development, this game probably would be the best game ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, finally November 8th for Skull and Bones, a game that I thought was never gonna come out, and yeah, man, it looks good. So
Yeah, it looked good, but it's ironic because when we first talked about this moons ago, we referred to this as, oh, this they must be taking the Black Flag archetype and
yeah,
just modifying it to a new story and characters and scenes. I mean, I'm not saying that isn't what they did, but if they would have done that, you would have thought this would have come out a lot sooner. Like that would have been an easy way to push this to pump this
And
game out.
and what's
Well,
crazy? What's crazy is that it's not coming out on last gen, and this was the last gen because this game got
right.
announced in like 2016, right? E3 so 2017. It's on the article. Yeah.
Very bizarre, dude. This is that like it's like the Gotham Knights thing we were talking about, right? Where like the
Oh
similar
yeah.
kind of situation, right? Where
But
they're saying, well, leave the old gen behind and move into
yeah,
next gen, which is where things are at now. I get that. But still, because we know the history of when this thing was in production and where it actually is coming out, it's bizarre.
yeah. It is strange. Um, but yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Again, like Black Flag, I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
There's a, if you follow the TikToks and the whatnots, there's a sea shanty thing that's been going on
Yeah.
for a couple months, and that was, that same. So it's funny because my daughter pointed out, I was like, oh, it's like, you know, I control her. She doesn't have a social media presence. Of course, she's a small child. So, but I showed her, and she knows the sea shanty. I was like, oh, you want to see something cool? And I looked it up, and I showed her the video of a video from AC4 when
Nice.
they sing that same sea shanty. She's like, whoa, that's crazy. I was like, yeah, this isn't that game that I got.
And there were
Pirate game.
hints in the shanties and things you had to do and like stories. It was great.
Mm-hmm. It was great, yeah. So if it reviews well, I may give it a chance. I
Agreed.
mean, this
Next gen
thing,
Black Flag, sure.
yeah, this thing may be, if it's on the Ubisoft pass
Oh yeah.
for PlayStation now, that could be included on PS Plus. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah,
That's a good point. I think of that.
November 8th. Unfortunately, it's gonna get buried by Ragnarok, but
Right?
yeah.
Well,
Talk about
R.I.P.
talk about timing. It's gonna get delayed again.
It's gonna get delayed by like a
That's str-
month.
see, this I can see. This I can see as a strategic delay, right?
You
Get
have
it out of
right.
the way from God of War, and then like I don't get the strategy behind the move on Forspoken, but we'll see.
That's true.
Joel, last bit of news that I have here is we're definitely looking forward to Andor coming out later this year. And one bit of news that we had is that the series takes place in a, I guess, a 1 year period. It's not
So,
necessarily like back to back stuff happening. So yeah.
yeah, so the way I interpreted it is, and I could be wrong, but the way I interpreted it was the first season. They've all, which is so strange, Obey, that we're talking about a second season of Andor. We've never even seen the first.
Yeah.
Looks good, but still strange to consider.
Yeah.
But the first season is 4 years before, right? A New Hope and Rogue One, and then the second season, every 3 episodes moves a different year. So it's in like three
Oh,
episodes, 1 year, another 3 episodes, another year, and then another 3 episodes, and then you're directly at Rogue One and New
Rogue
Hope,
One. Mm.
which cool, but that could be a little weird. Like just all of a sudden, like it just jumps. Like I don't know how they're gonna do it, man, but we'll have to see.
What if they pull a Gundam 8th MS team and nobody could have survived that? And here you go, Cassian and Jyn Erso are alive after all this time.
Oh my gosh.
I straight. Hey, you know what? People have been stabbed by lightsaber twice and lived. So,
Jedi's have fallen from crazy heights, cut in half.
yep. Stranger things have happened in the Star Wars
Stranger things
universe.
have happened, pun intended. So no, you're not wrong. I mean, these people are not what we believe to be force sensitive people,
Yeah,
but the force binds and controls all things.
yeah.
So right, why wouldn't the force will it that they survive? I don't know. I mean, I don't want anything to undo what was such a profound, dramatic movie.
Yeah.
Only add to it.
Yep.
So I
I agree.
hope that what they do in this series adds so much layer to a rising of a rebellion. I loved that. That was like kind of the main theme of that trailer, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like you see over and over people rising up, like in different places, all just like we're enough's enough. We're all going to step into our role in this rebellion because we're not going to let the Empire destroy our lives. So having that extra weight and depth, and then you see how Cassian in Rogue One is such a disgruntled person because the whole point of rebellion, right, is about hope, but you go through so many years of hopelessness. What that does to
Yeah.
somebody, it causes desperation. It causes there to be a real understanding of the consequences, and hopefully we see the kind of maybe we see a Cassian maybe that was maybe a little more naive, and then him become over time more. I don't want to say hardened is probably the wrong word, but maybe uh,
I
more
think harden's the
focused
right
and
word.
yeah, hardened, focused. Just changed by what occurs, and that's why you see it goes. And that would add that extra depth. Like, oh, I understand this guy. You don't understand. Kind of like with like if you would have seen Obi-Wan, this new Kenobi series, and you never saw the prequels. Which I'm sure there's some random people out there who watch this show
Oh
because they have the
yeah, yeah,
prequels and
yeah.
never seen it, and they're like, "What?" But like you watch the prequels, you're like, of course Obi-Wan would be like so depressed and so
Yeah.
like, you know, feeling so broken. And then when you get that scene where he's crying and looking and saying, I am so sorry for everything that I've done. Like I take responsibility looking at him in the eyes. That hits so hard
Yeah.
because we have the context. I hope that Andor does that for Rogue One.
Yeah. Yeah. It could only yeah. It's just like what Clone Wars did for the prequels. It actually made it
Right.
better. So, yeah, I'm hoping that this show does the same for Rogue One, which is already, I think, an excellent movie. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Might be the
yeah.
best one of the Disney from a live action
Oh,
films. And,
for from the
so
movies, yeah, for
yeah.
sure. And it's it's better than the first four episodes of Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah. You get those last two though. Last
Yeah,
two.
yeah, that's
That's
there.
a whole nother level.
Yep, cool. All right, Joe. That's what we got for today. Next week, no episode, more than
Yes.
likely. Stay tuned to socials because we may or may not have it. If we do, it probably will be on Friday. But as of now, it's probably not going to happen. So we're just putting it out there. And then the following week, Joel, you are going to be over at Comic Con. So we're going to try
Right.
and do something earlier in the week and enjoy the content that Joel's going to, give us from Comic Con. So yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely. And between this weekend and next week where we'll figure out, we may probably more likely skip this episode next week. I'll have a video out on social talking about Thor Love and Thunder. So you'll get at least that between now and then, little reaction. So that's why we encourage you all to stay tuned, sticking with us, right? If you're on the podcast platforms, make sure you subscribe to No Load Time. Find us on places like Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon. Find us on these platforms, subscribe to us. Also, you can subscribe to the video version on our YouTube channel. That's going to be really important while I'm out there in San Diego. If you want to see some of the most awesomest coverage, I'm telling you guys, boots on the floor. It's gonna be unlike anything we've done in years past. And so you really want to make sure you're following us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then also, of course, if you're subscribed to our podcast platform, if you would go ahead and write a review, that would really help us out as we share the podcast with others. Just really get the word out about what we're doing here on No Load Time. It's a fan movement. It's a group of community of people that just love stuff and talk about the stuff we love. And that's what we really encourage. So also we want you to make sure you follow us on social media because that's another place that we're going to share a lot of stuff. So make sure you follow us at No Load Time, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And also, you can follow us on our Twitch account, No Load Time Altogether. We stream live our episodes being broadcasted there. And last but not least, if you have a question or comment, send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. If you're going to be out there at San Diego Comic Con, you see me out there, don't be afraid to say hi. I'm friendly. Don't worry. And no matter what, guys, it's going to be a great time. I look forward to all the coverage and the fun. See y'all on our next episode.
Now I'm laughing because I thought it was like I'm friendly and I'm single.
No, don't listen to this guy. Show's ending.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.
All right, see you guys.